I would now request Rotarian Anand Dalal to introduce our guest speakers, Ms. Karishma Swali and Ms. Monica Shah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Monica and Karishma are the co-founders of Jade, as Shirni has already told us, which is a luxury bridal line best known for its exquisite handcraft. In addition to that, in 2017, they co-founded the Chanakya School of Craft, India's first not-for-profit center of excellence teaching women mastercraft and hand embroidery. Their equal partner Nihal is also in audience with us, who's Karishma's brother and Monica's husband. Monica has always been creatively curious and artistically inclined. A variety of creative pursuits over the years stand testimony to this. She's a trained Bharatanatyam dancer and well versed in the art of Varli and Madhubani. She loves traveling, and many of her experiences and journeys often sow the seeds of design inspiration in her heart. She was pursuing furniture designing for 6 years before she co-founded Jade. Monica is an alumna of Central St. Martin's, London and Jai College, Mumbai. She studied her diploma in interior design at Ratna Sansad School of Design. Karishma is a fashion designer and the creative director at Chanakya, a luxury craft house founded in 1986, and is known for creating timeless handicrafts for most celebrated fashion houses worldwide. Inspired by her parents' spiritual values and passion for craftsmanship, Nihal and I have taken Chanakya to a new level. Over the last 3 decades, Chanakya is an established leader in hand craftsmanship, excelling in innovation and preparation of the crafts, working with over 3,000 artisans across many genres of craft, and has won many international certifications like the ISO 2015, the SA 8000 for social compliances and international quality management systems, as well as the SME Award for Excellence in the Small and Medium-Sized Industries category. Today, Chanakya boasts of all the top design houses as its clients, with offices in Italy and US as well. Karishma is a graduate from the National Institute of Fashion Technology and holds a master's in business administration from NM College in Mumbai. A little bit about Jade. At Jade, Monica and Karishma are intimately involved with the research and studies of arts and crafts across India, learning about fabrics, ancient and modern, and above all, exploring and establishing Jade's role as custodians of Indian heritage and craftsmanship. Under their vision and forged by their creative fire, Jade has carved a distinct niche for itself as one of India's premier couture houses that offers the perfect balance between fine Indian craftsmanship, heritage, and global appeal. From just one store in Mumbai, today Jade has expanded to stores in LA, Delhi, and Hyderabad, along with a strong presence in Chicago, New York, and United Kingdom. The lovely ladies and the gents must certainly visit their store and encourage them. To keep the flame of Indian craftsmanship burning bright while also giving back to the community, Monica and Karishma co-founded the Chanakya School of Craft, a school especially for women for difficult backgrounds under the patronage of Jade's parent company Chanakya. This school is a not-profit organization where master crafts and hand embroidery are taught with the vision to preserve them and reinvent them for future generations. Karishma and Monica are deeply involved with the school that started out as a passion project but is slowly but surely turning into a World Craft Institute and a Women Empowerment Center. They are actually worthy candidates for our Women Empowerment Award as well. They are devoted to putting Indian artistry on a global map, giving the myriad artisan communities in India the recognition that they deserve. Culture, according to them, is the cornerstone of our identity. And couture for them is not about a hefty price tag, but it's about keeping our culture alive and telling a story of our history, journey, and identity. Over to you.
Thank you, Anand, for that very warm and kind introduction. Dear Rotarians of the Rotary Club of Bombay, thank you for having us here with you today. It indeed is very special to us. Thank you, Madam President, Ms. Shanaz Vakil, Mr. Batra, the members of the Rotary Club of Bombay here in person, and those connected via Zoom today. The Rotary Club, with its core values of service, fellowship, diversity, and integrity, are such an incredible platform for inspiration, and we are so happy to share our story with you all today. If I may, I would like to begin by giving you some insight into our parent company, Chanakya, that laid the foundation of the Chanakya School of Craft. The House of Chanakya is a luxury design firm. Our core is design excellence in exclusive handcraftsmanship. Our journey to showcase the age-old heritage of hand embroidery began when our father Vinod Shah founded Chanakya almost 4 decades ago in 1986. Not many people may be aware, they weren't aware then, and I'm not sure how many people are aware now, but our country holds the deepest, widest, and most skilled artisanal base for handcraftsmanship in the world. A skill that our country has harnessed over many, many centuries and is nothing short of what we believe is a national treasure. Our vision at Chanakya is to share India's finest craftsmanship with the rest of the world, while maintaining our cultural sustainability and lending to the preservation of our precious craft legacy. This is my 24th year at Chanakya, and I continue to learn from craft every single day. We have been fortunate to collaborate and partner with some of the finest design couture houses across Europe and the USA, and we are proud to represent our country's cultural and craft landscape globally. At Chanakya, generations of master craft people, preservers and advocates of hand craftsmanship have worked towards a singular aim: to ensure that the magic of our wonderful artisans lives on forever. Witnessing the fast and rather alarming pace that the world is changing, we realized that there was a very acute need to preserve our heritage, special to this country alone, and time to also give back and pay it forward. This laid the foundation for the Chanakya School of Craft. Our foundation was born from a compelling need to implement holistic solutions for economic, social, and environmental issues. The vision of the Chanakya School focuses on an all-round development through excellence in education, skill development, and women's empowerment, while investing in the preservation of our heritage and promotion of the arts. Our school is India's first not-for-profit school teaching mastercraft techniques to women. The foundation believes in transforming societies by instilling a vision, making role models, and of course, promoting a sense of community. Through our certificate craft program, we have taught over 400 women since our inception in 2017, and we really hope to touch many, many more lives meaningfully. We have a brief video that will provide some insight into our world of the Chanakya School of Craft, as well as touch upon our work and our collaborations globally. But before that, I would love for Monica to share more with you about our foundation and our School of Craft. Thank you very much, Monica.
Thank you, Karishma. Good afternoon, Rotarians. Handcraftsmanship in India is traditionally taught from father to son, and we thought it would be wonderful to open up this skill to women, the backbone of our communities, allowing them equal opportunity and independence. The goal for the Chanakya School of Craft is to create a platform of multidimensional learning, focused on the arts and craft, while providing equal opportunity to an often ignored backbone of our communities, that's women. Our mission is to provide women from low-income communities with high-quality education in hand embroidery, enabling them to maximize their potential and enhance their lives. Our students study modules dealing with the use of technology, business acumen, and starting new ventures. The benefit is twofold. Ancient techniques and skills are now revived, rejuvenated by the joy and ambition of those who have finally been empowered. The curriculum is both robust and holistic. Over the course of 1 year, we cover over 300 craft techniques with modules on pattern making, design, and color theory, as well as craft documentation, visits to the museums, and industry visits. At CSC, traditional craftsmanship is interpreted in contemporary ways to acknowledge, respect, and protect the social, environmental sustainability of our traditional cultural expressions. The curriculum is divided into 2 semesters. That culminates with an internship that offers experience in global luxury craft making. Upon completion of the certificate 1-year embroidery program and the internship, the successful students have an opportunity to join our women's only atelier with flexible timings, where they earn a good income, respect, and an artisan, as well as become part of our creative community that is ever evolving. Our empowered leaders continue to be torch bearers of their community long after their education is completed, thus making our impact sustainable for tomorrow. As modern custodians of craftsmanship, we are privileged to promote and preserve these crafts, reinvent and contemporize them, thus keeping them relevant for future generations. Thank you all so much for your time today, and we'll be happy to answer any questions once you all see the video. Thank you.
Born of creativity, inspired by culture, crafted to perfection, connecting India with the world. We are Chanakya. A visionary inspired by the values of Gandhi and the spirit of Tagore, sets out to build a haven for the arts and its artisans in India. Scouting talent from across the country, he brings together the masters of embroidery to the dream city of Mumbai. Vinod Shah establishes Chanakya, a sanctum influenced by Indian heritage, committed to exquisite embroidery and artistic innovation. Soon, across Europe, fashion houses start looking towards Chanakya as an inspiration destination, which offers extraordinary, fine surface ornamentation that is the perfect combination of their signature style and the artist's inherent talent. An institute that believes in paying it forward. The ancient techniques and skills revived. The backbone of many a society, but unidentified. A generation of women now empowered. The vision of the Chanakya Foundation focuses on an all-round development through education, skill development, and women's empowerment, while investing in the preservation of our heritage and promotion of the arts. Our mission is to provide women from low-income communities with high-quality education in hand embroidery, enabling them to maximize their potential and enhance their lives. A compelling need to implement meaningful solutions for social, economic, and environmental issues laid the foundation for the Chanakya School of Craft, a first-of-its-kind school that rewrites the rules of a male-dominated industry. Holistic learning, inspired by Shantiniketan and Rabindranath Tagore, set the tone for our belief systems to educate the heart, mind, and body for an elevated consciousness. With a commitment to empowering women, this is a school that facilitates in-depth, structured lessons taught by master craftsmen, with a modern curriculum that teaches embroidery skills, which also encourages entrepreneurship. The Chanakya School of Craft is a school that helps women stitch together their unique, independent future. The Chanakya Foundation believes in transforming societies by instilling a vision, making role models, and promoting a sense of community. After graduating from the school, our enthusiastic women have the option of being a part of the Foundation's women's-only facility, where they can earn an income and express themselves through art. The income and expression both empower them to be independent and confident, and torch-bearers for a more inclusive tomorrow. the Chanakya Foundation has partnered with the Jai Vakil Foundation to create a powerful collaboration of thought and inclusion through a set of inclusion bands. These bands have been handcrafted by the enterprising women graduating from the Chanakya School of Craft in their effort to give them an independent future. The bands represent a tomorrow that is all-inclusive, one where respect, dignity, diversity, and acceptance coexist. The future lies in graceful, responsible innovation, transformation that begets lasting change, creativity that demands responsibility, processes that are transparent and that meet global standards to preserve communities and the planet. Leave no stone, no bead, no thread unturned.
Could we please have the curtains open? Taj, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bari and Ms. Shah. That was absolutely inspirational. Before I throw it open to the house for questions, I have a question. You have empowered, you say, so far about 400 women, right? Out of those 400, how many women have joined your business?
So when the school was incepted in 2017, the vision was really to be able to find ways to empower the women and give back. So at that point, we didn't really have our women's atelier in place. So we taught about 250 women, and once they graduated, we helped them with their own entrepreneurship avenues, like some of them wanted to do tailor shops, some of them wanted to have a small atelier. And then in 2019, we inaugurated our women's only atelier with flexible timings, and we have about 80 women at our atelier.
And the other question was that who does the designing? Is it always with the two of you designing, or do you take designs from obviously your customers? And
So you mean at the Chanakya School of Craft?
Yeah.
Well, at the Chanakya School of Craft, it is always a collaboration of creative energies. So of course, we are both very involved. But if there's a collaboration, let's say the last one we had was with Eva Jospin. She's a French artist. So there was creative input from her end as well as our end to make something beautiful together.
And do the ladies have their creative input?
Absolutely. So a large part of our focus is really on design thinking and design excellence. So one aspect is, of course, learning the technical aspects of craft, and we do about 300 genres of craft at the school. But beyond the techniques, how do we teach them, to manage color? How do we teach them to really marry different techniques together? And the advanced students spend most of their semesters doing their own experiments to be able to explore, think with craft. So yeah, that's something we're very proud of at the school, actually.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So any questions? Yes, we have several people. Priyasri? Oh, sorry, please carry on.
Hi, congratulations. Firstly, I had no idea that this was much more than what we see on the show, the showcase. I have a question that, because of the global warming and the environment which is getting affected, you talked about sustainability. I wanted to know that, do you also recycle the clothes that you make? Because personally, I love vintage and I buy vintage. And I also use a lot of vintage clothes given to me, handed over by my second, third generation nanis and dadis. So that's my first question. And the second question is related to what Shani just said, that the inputs of the artisans who do the embroidery. I have asked this question to several designers, that why don't their names come on the label? Like, as a curator, I own a gallery, when we have an exhibition of art, we generally put the name of the artist. And like Shani said, that do they also contribute? And if they do, then it'd be lovely. And what do you have to say about that?
Well, thank you. I'm actually very excited with your first as well as your second question. So craft is inherently just so wise, right? Because it is naturally sustainable and zero carbon footprint. Naturally, craftspeople across generations tend to be zero waste or almost zero waste. And that's something that we have learned from the artisans, ever since. We've been doing it for over 2 decades. And a large part, like you saw the inclusion movement, there's another collaboration that we're doing. We work strictly with recycled and upcycled fabrics. There's a huge part of our organization that works on eco. There's a green movement that we have with a lot of our clients. With Gucci, we do a green movement every single season. There's another client, Margiela, that's passionate about it. So we do green, sustainable, grassroots research every season. And we work not just at the fabric level, but really at the raw material level, making sure that we keep it as sustainable as possible. Of course, to be honest, it's impossible to be completely sustainable, right? It's an ever-evolving world and we're learning, but it's certainly one of our pillars of change at the Chanakya School of Craft. You talk about vintage. We'd love to invite you to our vintage archives. We have an interesting craft collection, and the women get to see it along with, so they see vintage textiles, they understand the value. We didn't cover it through the presentation, but most of them are slum-dwelling women, really, that haven't had any sort of exposure to design. They're curious, they're intelligent, but we need to also build a foundation and let them see beautiful objects, understand why they're beautiful. So we do that, as well as they have access to our library of 8,000 odd textile books. So yes, we do our part, and we'd like to do more always. It always feels like a drop in the ocean, right? But it's something that we're truly passionate about. Would Monica like to take the question on the artisans? I have a small bit to tell you about that, and then I'll let her share as well. We've thought often about how do we represent the artisan on the design itself. But if you look at our collaboration with Dior, we had 350 artisans working on it together, and it was like an orchestra, everyone sort of working on their specific techniques. Someone was an Ari Karigar, someone was a Zardozi, someone else did the patchwork, someone did the applique. So as much as we'd like to, we haven't found the right way to be able to put everyone's names out there. It's not so easy. But when they do work at Jade, she'll tell you a little bit about that. We do put their names on the labels when it's possible. So if you'd like to share that part.
Yeah. Thank you, Karishma. So to take it on with your first question, everything that Karishma said is so true about environmental sustainability. But what we are also adding here is a huge aspect of cultural sustainability, which is a very important role in the Indian economy and our identity. Because craft in general, if you see, every state has a new craft, every state has a new way of weaving, every state has a new way of wearing their sari or the way they wear their safa. Every state will have a new craft. So, but that is not institutionalized. That is only passed on from father to son. And that, if needs support. So a school like this will definitely sustain that craft. So a cultural sustainability is a huge arm that all of us need to become ambassadors of and support the crafts. And to your second question, where artisans, like we have some master craftsmen in Chanakya and in Jade, where who are creating some techniques which we have revived, which actually are declining over the years, like the Ekta technique. So every jacket, every lehenga that is created by the master craftsman has his name on it.
Rhoda?
Yeah, thank you. Madam, congratulations for taking our heritage to all over the world. God bless you both. Thank you so much. My question is a bit off-center, if you don't mind. I wonder why you called your foundation Chanakya. Because from in my understanding, Chanakya was somewhat crafty, not craft per se. So I just wondered why. Please comment.
So really it's the parent company, but when we looked into Chanakya as a philosopher, there was one value system that really resonated with us, which was his win-win strategy for everything. And he really believed that unless every stakeholder is a winner, there's no winner in it at all. And that's something that I think resonates with us at the School of Craft at Chanakya. It's also our historic name. So it's something that we wanted to continue living by. Thank you.
Macy, you had a question?
Yeah, well done, ladies. Very admirable and commendable what you've been doing. I wanted to ask you, your Chanakya school, is it self-sustaining or is it sponsored or is it fee-based or is it a combination? How does that work?
So the foundation is currently completely supported in-house by us. Of course, there are collaborations that we do, but we are looking to open it up, and build a corpus, because as we would like to scale it, take it to different states. We've had questions to maybe take centers globally as well. It's something that we will certainly need to do. We can't continue sustaining it on our own. And maybe you can all help us with that.
That's very magnanimous. Just a suggestion, there's a company called El Cateton, right? They're part of Louis Vuitton and they invest in brands. So maybe you should approach them.
Thanks very much for that.
Yeah.
You have a question?
Can I?
Jamshid, please.
Yeah. Where is it exactly located? And the second, I have a few questions. Why only women? And the third is that since now you'll have achieved so much in fashion and you'll have a background of furniture or at least as education, have you all considered also delving into that kind of furniture design or something like that?
So the school is at Baikala. You're all welcome to visit. We would love to see you all there. And to your second question, why women? As only. As you see, actually in India, craft has been a male-dominated industry. So it was very important to bring the women in the forefront. And women in general are the backbone of the society. So we really wanted to empower women. So it was important to bring them and teach them this craft. And to your third question, yes, we are always looking at doing different creative aspects. We've started with fashion, maybe soon home.
We'll see it coming sometime soon, hopefully.
Now we have some questions on Zoom. Lubina says, I'm sure you have had several challenges in getting the school started. Could you advise which one was the largest and how you overcame it?
Thank you, Lubina. So, oddly enough, our largest challenge was not really thinking about the curriculum. It's something we worked on together for over a year and a half. We wanted to make sure it's very robust and at the same time very holistic. But that's something that came to us more naturally. What really was the hardest challenge for us in the beginning was getting the women to come and learn. Our first center had to actually be in the Dharavi slums because it was so hard to explain to the women that this is a center where you can treat it as a safe haven. You know, you can even begin as a hobby and see where it takes you. You know, it's somewhere that you can feel safe, bring your children if you want to. And in spite of all that, in the beginning, we had only 8 women. And within the first 3 weeks, it was down to 3 women. What we realized very quickly is that there's an incredible amount of resistance that these women face domestically. You know, they have responsibilities, of course, but also they're not given this equal opportunity. And what we did to overcome that was that in the beginning, we collaborated with different NGOs that were in touch with women. So there was an NGO that we'd like to continue thanking called Jan Shikshan, and they helped us get our first batch of women. And once we had that first batch on, we're happy to share that very soon it became word of mouth, and very soon, you know, we were able to get more women on. But that was our really biggest challenge in year 1.
Kudos to Karishma and Monica for having Anjali Lama as your runway model. Hoping that more trans and gender queer people will be included in the runway. Not sure who this question is from.
I think now the society and always should be more about inclusivity, whether it's transgender, I don't think that matters. It's all about including everybody.
We just got our first gay Supreme Court judge, isn't it?
Right.
Yes. So that's something to cheer about.
Absolutely.
So I think we've done with the questions. So now I request Honorary Secretary Dr. Akshay Batra to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, President Shanaz, and thank you so much, Karishma and Monica. The only experience I've had of your brand is sitting in the car and watching my wife gasp in awe when she sees those wonderful creations at Jade. So I'm so happy that you came here today and showed us that there's so much more, so much deeper work. Yeah, she was already pre-committed somewhere, but when she heard they're coming, you should have told me earlier. So I'll certainly bring her to see Chanakya one day. But thank you for doing such wonderful work and promoting the arts and crafts in India. I think it's really commendable. As a token of our appreciation for the afternoon spent with the members of our club, we will on your behalf plant 10 fruit-bearing trees at the Nilmati Dandwal Gram Panchayat. And this is the certification in that honor.
I'm going to send the women that we are uplifting to your school. Really nice. You can open the certificate. Thank you. Thank you.